Hey team, it's me, Brittany Broski. Just did an interview with Zach Sang against my will. They held me here at ransom, took my car and my keys. It was fun though. Talked about Beyonce, talked about Liam Payne, and talked about the trials and tribulations of being an internet star. And Zach's situationship. Be sure to tune in. Love you guys. This is my show now.
This is going to be fun. Hello, beautiful human. My name is Zach. Carlos, our camera guy, is stressing out today. By the way, here hanging out on AMP, my name is Zach. That is Dan, and we welcome to the studio, Brittany Broski.
Woo! Got my camera? Got my camera.
Broski. That is a great last name that is fake.
Yeah, it's not real.
So,
oh, I'm lying on the internet?
Oh, get in line. How do you come up with broski? Does it form from bro?
Of course. Okay. Yeah, I remember I made it in 6th, 7th grade. And that was when Brotato Chip and Brosif. And it was I wanted to just be a guy's girl so bad. I wasn't. And I was like, I say bro too. And so I made it Brittany Broski. And everyone's like, she's Polish. I'm like, I am.
Did you really aspire to want to be liked by men? Dude?
No. And that's the thing is this, the internet has taught me, who the fuck am I trying to please? And so I created that name, and I'm kind of grateful for it because it provides an alias to a certain extent versus my government name. Yeah. And when people find out my government name, they're like, that's not our username. And I'm like, yeah. And so I'm grateful for it, but oh no, my audience is girls, gays, and theys, and I'm so thankful.
Do you feel like that stage name provides you space between what happens in your reality and what just happens to be captured by the front-facing camera on your phone?
Sometimes.
By the way,
we're getting deep within the first 3 minutes.
Welcome to the Zach Sang Show.
Thank you so much.
Brittany Broski.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I do think it provides a form of a character to play.
Yeah. The
struggle comes when to turn on and off that character, because it's not like I'm acting so. It's not like this is my drag persona and I put it on and then I turn it off and I'm just a normal boring person. It's I'm like this behind closed doors and on camera. You beef it up a little bit, but this is how I act with my friends. And so it's is it a character or is it just an excuse to be loud?
But by the way, I very much resonate with that because it is your true essence and your true self. Mm-hmm. But there are moments where it is, like you said, loud or just emphasized.
Right. Well, you understand. You have to turn it on when you're performing or when you're hosting or whatever.
But one of the greatest things that somebody can say to me is that they don't see a difference or hear a difference between the person that they're meeting and getting to know and the person that they've ever seen on screen.
Yeah.
That is just because it makes my life easy.
Right.
But unlike you, what you do exerts energy. But,
sure.
But also, I think a lot of the fun, and I've watched much Brittany Broski content.
Sorry. Sorry. And sorry to you as well.
There is this essence of you're doing it with your friends and it's judgment free. You break character most of the time.
Yeah.
Or I could see the struggle in your eyes to not laugh at your own work. And I love it. There was this one video of you in the kitchen. I think you were yelling at your friend who was pretending to be a kid for eating the food.
Well, that's the thing is whether or not I had 7 million, I had 10 million, whatever, I would still be making those videos with my friends because I'm a child of the internet and that's how we make memories.
Yes.
It's this would be a funny video. Let's do it. It's not for the followers. It's for me and my bestie. It's for me and my sister when we're together and we're this would be funny. You know what I mean? It's we want to go show mom and dad. That's kind of the core of the type of videos I make. If I'm not making myself laugh, I'm trying to make my best friend laugh. And that resonates with people because that's all anyone wants to do anyway.
Well, they just want to share stuff with their best friends and share laughs with their best friend.
Exactly.
Do you feel like it's hard to be so many people's best friend?
Well, this is a whole interesting conversation about parasocial relationships.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because there are certain internet personalities that really lean in. I mean, when you're talking about Logang and Jake Paulers, it's your identity is in being a part of that person's community. Yeah. For me, I don't really... I mean, I have the whole Broski Nation thing going as a bit. That's funny. Is that I'm the dictator and everyone shut the fuck up and it's my world.
I mean, sis, you were about to acquire a church.
That's a good purchase a church.
I mean, I was
launder money.
Right, of course. Launder money, tax write-off.
Exactly.
I mean, Joel Osteen and Kanye are doing it. Why can't Brittany Broski?
Exactly. My Polish Church of God.
By the way, I'd be there in person and on the live stream. I'd be live streaming from outside of the church, watching it.
You would be a pastor.
Oh.
Consider yourself hired.
Yeah. Praise be.
So it would be, you know, it's that's kind of a bit to me. It's not so much like I am forcing my audience to have an identity within my fan base. It's just kind of a fun thing. But in doing that, you create these almost genuine relationships with your fans, and they really see me as an older sister and I think that there's such a purity in that, and there's an innocence in that of like, God, I just love her and she comforts me. Jenna Marbles used to be that for me. You know, it's like I didn't think of her as my best friend, but she was a comfort for me. And if I can be that for people, what an honor. But at the same time, it gets kind of dangerous.
It gets dangerous, and it requires a lot of your energy.
Sure.
Because like there is like when you got to turn it on, you got to be funny, you got to be loud. Like, yes, you can keep that going for a certain amount of time, but like you got to pause and recharge.
Yeah.
You're not no matter how hard a human being can try. You can't be the Energizer Bunny, especially if people are looking at you to bring the funny. Do you feel like you're required to bring that when you enter into a social situation?
Sometimes. It depends who I'm with. If I'm with a bunch of other funny people, the game is on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want to compete.
It's exactly, and you want to be able to prove that you belong in that room of funny people. If I'm in a room of people who are just, you know, not necessarily funny, not necessarily, you know, it's like I usually feel fine. But it's this weird competitiveness, especially in LA. I've never felt this in my life, but I've also never been around so many funny people who do this for a living.
Yes.
It's scary.
Are you still surprised when you wake up some days and realize that like the videos that you would just be making for your friends, like that funny, that was so insulated to you and one or two other people, is now not just providing a living for you, but has put you just on a path that when you look to your right and to your left,
it's unreal.
I was hoping I'd get a verb.
That was pretty solid.
You hooked me up with the Celsius. Thank you, Zach Sang.
Oh my God, I need that. Clip that right now. Clip it right now and send it to him.
Oh, that's good.
I just want to be a part of it.
Yeah, I felt you forced it down and brought it back
I definitely
up.
did.
That's a lot different. That came from my gut.
Yeah, yours came from deep within.
Deep within
Is
my
burping
spirit.
a thing that you like, you realize can be something of like almost status growing up in Texas?
No, I just have IBS.
Oh wow. Are you open about your irritable bowel syndrome?
What?
Are you open about it?
She takes
Barry.
TikToks on the toilet.
I do,
Oh, that
on
is
the shitter.
true,
I
yeah.
go live on the shitter.
Sick.
Any other questions about this?
No, I mean, I think IBS deserves a really great spokesperson. I think he'd be great. Like, honestly, put you on those billboards.
I've always had gas problems. And at a certain point, you just got to accept it.
I used to pregame before going out, not with booze, but with Alka-Seltzer.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah, it's awesome, actually.
Pepto at the club.
I have friends that will get Pepto-Bismol delivered to dinner. Like, go puff it. They'll go puff it to dinner. Not a
Pepto
joke.
vodka. Yeah. Vodka Pep.
Whatever keeps you in balance.
It's true.
I mean,
It's called health and wellness, and you bitches should look it up.
do you think your stomach problems are connected to nerve or diet?
I think a lot of it is genetics. I think about 92% of it is diet. Me and my dad, and I just now realized this, me and my dad bonded for the majority of my life about how we just spend hours in the bathroom. Just like on the toilet, iPad, phone, whatever. And it's like, oh, that's me time. But at the same time, it's like, there was a certain point where I was like, this is affecting my quality of life. I would be at a party, I would be at dinner, and I'm just in the bathroom. I hear my friends giggling outside. I'm like, damn, my guts. And so it was like, I need to take a probiotic.
Are there certain foods you'll avoid though, so you don't have to sit in the bathroom?
I know that I'm lactose intolerant. Do I still eat dairy? Yes. Cruciferous vegetables make me fart. Still eat them. Bread, love it. Bad for me. You know what I mean? It's shit like that. There's so much sugar in this. I'm gonna suck it down. Because at one point, you know, it's like you only live once.
That's
and
the
if
motto.
I spend 86% of my life in the bathroom, hey, that was other good percentage lived.
Your choice.
Right. My body, my choice.
Question. And this is just something coming from somebody who's had a long-standing fear of going number 2 in public restrooms.
You do?
It's literally within the last couple of months, it's only something I've accepted.
Wow.
And I know exactly where the fear comes from.
Where was it as a child? Something
Yeah,
like that?
I was 10 years old. We were taking a quick trip, family trip to Florida, Disney World. I had to go to the bathroom. We were boarding the plane. I go to the bathroom while everybody's boarding. I'm trying to do my business.
I believe you.
No, they knock on the door. They couldn't take off because I was going to the bathroom. And it got to the point after 3 knocks by the flight attendant that she made a message over the loudspeaker. And she said, sorry, we would like to take off, but we can't right now because somebody is currently using the
You
bathroom.
were on the plane bathroom?
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Like before we were taking off, we couldn't even taxi back because you can't do that with somebody in the bathroom.
You were screaming one out in the bathroom.
Yes. And then finally, after the message, I exit the bathroom. Everybody's in their seats.
Yeah,
and
looking at you.
Oh my God. Hundreds of heads just turn around. They're looking at me as I exit the bathroom.
Yeah, that'll traumatize you.
I can remember our family friends saying, what do you want from him? If you gotta go, you gotta go.
It's so true. Just loud New Jersey family defending you. Kid's gotta go, he's gotta go.
After that moment, I was 10 and I'm now 29 and I haven't pooped in public in 18 years. It's really hard. Yeah. It's really challenging and I'll leave.
Right.
Like that's you got to enter every situation knowing that if you need to, you pull the plug and you walk away.
Right.
Like an Irish exit, it could be required.
What the fuck is an Irish exit?
You say goodbye to nobody.
Oh, okay.
You just walk away.
So if you've disappeared from a function,
Oh, it's because I had to go to the bathroom.
people know that about you, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, now they know.
Public. Oh, so now
Well,
this is the reveal.
Yeah. I mean, I don't honestly. I come up with different excuses.
Sure.
But really, truly, it's been. I mean, I think it was like maybe 2 months ago. I actually went to the bathroom.
What did you christen?
It was, you ready? It was actually an airport in a full circle moment. It was an
now
airport.
you got internet money. What was it? The Delta Sky Lounge or something? Christening the Sky Club.
Honestly, I was going to the bathroom in first class, which
It was on the plane again?
it was on the
Went
plane.
on the
Oh
plane
my
again?
God.
Yeah.
That's one thing I have never done. I've never pooped on a plane.
Really?
I
No.
had diarrhea on a plane. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend.
Well, they say that once you're up that high, it dries you out. So the chances of it.
Can't relate.
Loosens her up even more.
Even more liquidy.
I flew to Dubai 18 hours and I didn't go to the bathroom once.
You considered you need to go to the hospital.
When I landed, I couldn't sleep for days. It was so bad. I didn't sleep once for the whole trip. I was there for 3 days. But this was after my trauma.
Piss freak.
No, I would not go to the bathroom. I was so nervous.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
Anyway, Brittany Broski's here.
All right, guys.
really traumatizing stuff.
This makes or breaks us as functioning adults, though.
You're 100% correct. And if you can't do a proper bowel movement, what can you do in life?
Hey, and you heard it here first.
Yes.
I live by that.
I also don't fight sleep. That's another thing. Like if I need to sleep in any situation, I'll just go to sleep.
I like that.
It's new to me.
That'll get you into trouble, though.
Yeah, especially
Waiting for your flight.
correct.
Gotta sleep.
Speaking of probiotics, kombucha.
My trigger word.
You know, I just found out that was you 2 days ago.
A lot of people don't know that's me.
Had no idea that was
that
you.
warms my heart.
So that's really that is the ultimate compliment.
It is. And people are like, "Oh, I didn't know that was you." Yes, dude.
Have you been on a quest, maybe subconsciously, to wipe that out of the public's mind?
Yes and no. It's a two-sided issue because on one hand, I'm incredibly grateful that was my jumping off platform, and that allowed me. Well, I got fired from my job, but that allowed me to leave the 9-to-5 corporate workspace
At a bank.
at a bank. Yeah. And move into this whole digital influencer marketing space. On the other hand, being pigeonholed into something, the internet loves to pigeonhole you, and it takes a lot of effort and strategy to get out of that and to diversify your portfolio. And that's kind of what I did. And I made it a concerted effort to do that in the very beginning. Like I was making other videos and skits and impressions and kind of like showing what I could do. And I think it paid off because I started to focus more on my TikTok audience than I made a YouTube. Just hit 1 million on YouTube a few
Mazel
months ago.
tov.
Thank you so much. And it's like that stuff feels like such a reward in a way that going viral isn't. going viral is cool. And that was definitely, like I said, the trampoline for everything else. But when people recognize me only as Kombucha Girl, it makes me feel like, have I done nothing else?
I understand that.
And it's usually only straight men who recognize me as Kombucha Girl. Because a lot of my content isn't really geared for straight men, so I don't know why they would have seen it. And so I'm like, it makes sense.
I've honestly never seen the video, even in preparation to have you here.
You're lying.
No, I swear I've not.
So you've only seen the stills?
No, I don't even know. I didn't even know. Like, I know you from a whole different generation of videos that you posted.
Let's go.
I love your singing. I think your voice is superb.
Thank you.
I think your British accent may be a crutch in nervous situations. It is, right?
It is.
You came in here.
My flaws.
You came in here speaking in the British accent, and I was like,
You psychoanalyzing me from the moment I walked in the door. Hello, darling. She's nervous.
I'm like, sister, I'm not Harry Styles. Relax.
She's clearly nervous. Get her a Celsius.
It worked.
Yeah, it did.
It worked. Talk about irritable bowel syndrome over a Celsius, a cold one, you know?
Cracking a cold one with the boys.
I promise you, like, I know you from a whole different generation of stuff, which is that wild to think? And I really want to break down why you have a lack of emotional attachment or a lack of emotional definition to virality. Is it because it's fleeting?
It is because it does not mean what it used to. When something was viral 10 years ago, everyone on the internet saw it.
It's true.
The power of something going viral on YouTube or going viral on Tumblr or Reddit.
I have goosebumps.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that power has been given to the people. And while that's incredible, if someone comes up to you and asks, have you seen this TikTok? It was viral. It has 25 million views and 10 million likes. No, I haven't seen it. It means nothing now. And so I'm incredibly aware and grateful for when the kombucha meme went viral. That was one of the first TikToks ever to go viral because Musical.ly had just turned to TikTok. Yeah. And someone had downloaded it, TikTok watermarks all their videos, uploaded it to Twitter. So they were watching this video and it was marked with my username and the TikTok logo. And they were like, no, what the fuck is this? Downloaded the app, and that's kind of, TikTok is incredibly generous and kind to me because I was part of that story, of creating TikTok into the monolith it is today. And it's interesting to look back and think, oh yeah, I had my viral moment. And I was one of the lucky ones that, I was seeing my face on climate change posters in Australia. It was in Hindi, it was in Arabic, because there was a universality to that form of a mixed reaction. And so I'm very appreciative for it. And I recognize that only happened because of a certain amount of circumstances that lined up perfectly. That could not happen today. I don't think.
Unless there's a new platform. Waiting to emerge.
Yeah.
So in that moment, do you think, I got to back this up with something, or this has been the moment I've been waiting for?
No, I never planned for that. I knew I was going to work at the bank till I was 50 and die from a heart attack. You know what I mean? Like that was my plan.
That's just like, that gave me deep goosebumps because there's this societal pressure that's put on people to not take risks.
Yeah.
Because you were a theater kid. You were a part of an improv troupe.
I was all of it. And I definitely had those fleeting thoughts, of like, when I turn 18, SNL, girl. Like now that I'm in Hollywood, I recognize how naive that is to want that, and that it's so set up. The people that get to be on SNL, like this, it's not an open casting the way it used to be in the 1970s. Like people hand pick you at comedy shows or in the case of Kyle on YouTube, things like that. And so I was like, I didn't realize that. And so I kind of just gave up because I have very strict parents and it was always like, have a backup plan. So I know that if all this went away tomorrow, I have a college degree. I have work experience.
You're an insurance agent.
I'm a licensed insurance agent. It's things like that where I could fall back on that. I would hate it and like want to die, but I could make a living for myself.
I mean, does that reality cross your mind? Like how often does that creep in?
Not often. I try not to let it. But the state, the state of the internet and this whole world is so volatile. Mm-hmm. Like one day someone has a career and one day they're irrelevant. One day someone has a career and one day they're canceled. And then all the brands drop them. It's like, I think all the time, if I have to rely on AdSense to pay my bills and then one day the views just stop, that is frightening. That is frightening. There is no stability in this income. And I also, I say this a lot too, it's the Wild West right now. These influencers, myself included, are being paid the big bucks because there's no regulation. There's no standardization of what these brands are paying. And so I'm lucky enough, and I reckon because I'm hyper self-aware almost to a fault of I exist at such a specific time. It's not always going to be like this. You know, like these brands are going to be like, well, we only pay $3,000 for that now, when they used to pay $250,000. It's like the money that these brands have, they don't know how to spend it.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
You don't think you have a gift that can translate in other ways, in other mediums, on other platforms?
Yes and no. Yes. The short answer is yes. I'm not going to be too modest. I know that, and the more people I meet too, I definitely have a natural instinct, I feel like you do as well, for hosting, making people feel comfortable, bantering with people that not a lot of people have. But at the same time, it's like, I didn't go to classes. I didn't, you know, like last time I did improv was in fucking college, but it's like, this is all, you know what I mean? It's like, it all kind of is instinctual and it's not polished. And I think that's what's allowed me to have a career. But at the same time, it kind of scares me because I don't have media training.
So do you think your lack of polish is why you thrive on the internet?
Yes.
And maybe not a traditional streamer? But
yes. And I don't want to be on traditional media, at least not in the ways we know it. I think late night is archaic and outdated.
Yeah.
And it only works for white men. You know, like we've tried to put other people of different backgrounds into that role and they fail miserably because it's not built for them. So I'm of the opinion that, you know, for the type of skill that I have, I see myself being an Emma Chamberlain, Eliza Koshy, Amelia from Chicken Shop Date, Sean Evans from Hot Ones.
Yeah.
That form of like an internet show, Rhett and Link, Good Mystical Morning, an internet show host and create that world and build that world. And there's not really a need to ever expand into cable or like a streaming platform would be really cool, but I want a solid idea. So I see that being my future. And then my absolute end goal is like Disney Pixar. I want to be a voice actor.
yeah, you can do that. You do incredible impressions.
Thank you.
Okay, your British accent's something, but
Like,
you talking to your wife Martha really brought me joy. It was really good.
thank you so much. I do let me explain. I do a southern, it's my grandpa, my pawpaw. I do an impression of him.
Have you done it for him?
Yeah. Well, I do it to their face. I make fun of them. I do me and pawpaw.
Have you had any meetings with voiceover people? I mean, I feel like you have a big enough audience where people would want to attach your name to their project.
Yeah, I've done a couple VO auditions. My best friend likes to make fun of me because we did this video. We did a Hot Ones episode where like we just bought spicy chicken wings and did it in my living room. And I made her wear a bald cap and all that. I was like, you're going to be Sean Evans and I'm going to be Brittany Broski. It was hilarious. And she prepared this list of questions that was just the roast of Brittany Broski, essentially. One of the questions was, so Brittany, you've I auditioned for a bunch of VO roles. How's it feel like not getting any of them? I said, bad. But I think it's I think it'll happen when it needs to.
David Dobrik's in Angry Birds. Like, why can't you get a role?
I don't know. I think the right project needs to come along, and I want to attach my name to it. I'm such a Disney adult. I mean, I've got Mickey Mouse tattooed on my arm. It's just like I really want to do something with Disney. So I don't want to lock myself into an exclusivity with someone else. So
good. And aim for the moon.
Aim for the moon, and you might crash and burn and
or fall
die in the stars. You might propel yourself through space with a fart. That's what you were gonna say.
Yeah, I was gonna say fall on a star, but okay, yeah, that's the same thing. Good stuff. I like that Disney mentality you got brewing over there.
Thanks so much.
Really good. You embody that faith, trust, and pixie dust.
Just farting pixie dust.
I'm just wondering, just out of pure curiosity, when you talk about creating an online show, do you vision that doing it yourself?
I think that yes.
That's kind of how it works nowadays.
It does, and I think that the natural progression is kind of what Rhett and Link have done, or Ethan Klein, where they create their own production studios.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what any celebrity does. Like all these, Adam Sandler has Happy, whatever it's called.
Happy Madison,
and fucking Brad Pitt and all his. It's just like, I think that's the way to do it because no one's going to get your vision the way you do. And I also don't want to be subjugated and be a loyal servant to whatever production company I sign with. So I don't know, but it's stressful because it's like do I hire all my friends? And then what if we have a falling out and now half my business is gone? You know, it's like, do you want to do that, or do you want to find randos? It's a stressful thing versus just signing with a company.
You need a partner you trust.
You
You do. And
Are you free on Saturday?
yeah, I'm around. Very around. It's a lot because but it's not a leap you shouldn't take because it's a lot.
Right.
At the end of the day, like, you have a couple different options, right? You keep doing what you're doing, or you take on new challenges and you see where they go. And I think you're in a really healthy place to take on new challenges because you've already come to terms with, like, what the if this goes away tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm prepared. I got my insurance agent license on one holster.
Hey, at least we're insured.
I got my that. By the way, like, that's a huge deal.
It is.
Huge deal.
It is. I'm so thankful to have an insurance background. I never thought I'd use any of the bullshit I learned in my jobs.
Now,
I do. Every
production.
day.
Yeah, every day.
It's nice.
But you have a backup, you know? But also at the end of the day, you're incredibly funny and you sing and you're multi-talented.
Keep going.
Like and it also really bums me out that you really don't think that there's a place for a woman in late night, especially now as, like, we encroach on, like, a new wave, I think, of talent that are going to pop up across numerous networks, not just one, over the coming years.
I think the structure has to change. Gen Z is not watching The Tonight Show. You know what I mean?
Totally.
They're watching their favorite celebrities on these shows. They're not watching Jimmy Fallon. Love Jimmy Fallon. You know, like, he's funny, but he has his critiques. People critique him as they do any host. But I think that structure has worked since, you know, Johnny Carson. And it's just like, maybe it's time that we update it.
It is a risk.
Yeah.
And I do think, like, you made an example of, like, every time they do try to take that approach or try something new, it doesn't work out. And maybe we're talking about Lily Singh. Maybe we're talking about, I mean, let's go back in time.
Chelsea worked.
Chelsea was, Chelsea wasn't on one of the major three, and it was different, right? I don't know. Was the Lily show good? That's what I couldn't wrap my mind around because I kind of thought it was bad.
They set her up for failure.
Yeah, probably.
The writers were awful. They had her doing way too much. They had her trying to fill the role of the straight white man comic. And that's not her sense of humor. And that's not playing to her strengths as an Indian woman.
Totally.
You know, like, who came from the internet. Like, there's so many angles you could take there to make it interesting. And they just dropped the ball. I think she was a victim of that. You know, I don't think that she failed. I think that they set her up for failure. So it was just sad. And it sucks because the reality of it is she represents, for a lot of men, you know, like, well, this is why women aren't funny.
100%.
You know, and it's like, that's just solidifying it because she didn't play to her strengths. And it's just frustrating.
By the way, before her, Grace Helbig did a show on E! And for a while cast this totally different sort of stereotype, but essentially the stereotype of, like, you can't put YouTubers on television.
Right. Which, it's like, now we're fighting 7 uphill battles.
Yeah.
To try to be taken seriously.
It's crazy, but culture is emanating from TikTok. Culture is being shaped every day from the internet before it's being shaped anywhere else. If anything, everybody else is just playing catch up.
Yeah. And I feel like those brave soldiers, Charlie and Addison, who were pushed to the front of all this, you know, like, invited to the Met and on red carpets and doing this and doing that. And even things like Emma Chamberlain, who's incredibly talented and incredibly personable, hosting for Vogue on the Met Gala red carpet.
Totally.
Those things are pushing us forward, and I'm so appreciative. And while people make fun of Charlie and Addison and other, you know, super famous TikTok people being at these star-studded events, we're going to look back at this in 15 years when every celebrity in the world is a social media star and be like, they were the first to do it. You know, iconic. You know what I mean? It's like,
It's true.
You have to look to the future. And it seems cringy and like, why are they there right now? But it's like, these people are affecting culture, whether you want them to or not.
You meeting Harry Styles
Yes.
is an incredibly cool moment
I blacked out.
that tens of millions of people dream of, they crave, they desire it so deeply. But you get it because you are Brittany Broski of Broski Nation.
Famously.
This is an opportunity that others don't get a chance to have.
It's surreal. But I feel like a big component of that is like, this isn't me pulling my strings in the industry and calling up favors and doing this and doing that. I publicly said, I don't want to meet this man. He's been my idol for over a decade. You know what I mean? Like, he has been a fixture in my life. He has affected me so positively, and he has provided me a worldview, like, full of positivity and optimism and love. And the last thing I want to do is meet him, because never meet your heroes. And I think that there's some weird universe thing in that of, like, people who, you know, a lot of the comments I got were like, she deserved it, like, to meet him. And I was like, that is such a compliment, because I didn't ask for it. And I feel like that's a big difference, is people think they're owed something. People think that the world owes them everything they desire. And it's just like, I did not go into this career path thinking that. Everything has been a gift. And I think that every day. You know, it's like, you can manifest as much as you want, but when things happen, it's because they're happening to you, not because you're begging the universe for it. So I don't know. I think each day is, each opportunity. I interviewed Jack Harlow and shit like that, where I'm just like, never in a million years would I have dreamed of doing this. So I'm just thankful.
What's the hardest part about all of it?
Leaving some time for myself.
To do what? What do you want to do? What do you want to do at that time? Why do you need it?
Be alone. Well, you're talking about earlier of, like, you know, having that social battery run out.
Yeah.
The Irish exit. Whether that is to relieve your bowels or not. It's a lot of, I give and I give and I give because I want everyone to be happy. And it's the Robin Williams effect, the Jim Carrey effect of, like, I don't leave anything for myself. And so that's how a lot of comics spiral into depression, you know, is because you're so preoccupied with everyone else's happiness, you neglect your own. And that's a strange thing when you're in the business of comedy. You know, like, if you're making everyone laugh, you should be making yourself laugh. And so that's a hard thing when you're constantly being pulled in all these different directions. And I'm not saying I'm the busiest fucking person in the world, but, like, my time goes to a lot of things like that, you know, whether it's content creation or traveling or shows or brand deals or whatever it is. It's like I'm giving a piece of myself to everyone. And so it's incredibly important, and my therapist hears all about it, of how I just want to be in my room sometimes alone. And then that's when I get creative.
Well, last night you were in your room alone. You got a little drunk and went on Instagram Live.
And I was feeling very creative. I was cosplaying Dame Maggie Smith on Instagram Live off of a couple tequila sodas. Thank you.
So funny.
Yeah, it's shit like that where it's like I was bored in my room. Do you know how long it's been since I've been bored?
Yeah, but that's a beautiful feeling.
It is. And that's how I started posting shit in the first place, is because I would come home from my bank job, be bored to tears, because I was just looking at numbers all day. I would come home, watch some TV, be bored, start filming videos.
Out of that boredom comes greatness.
Oh, yeah.
So do you schedule in boredom? Do you cancel things at the last second? How do you handle it? How do you make time for you?
The God honest truth is I don't a lot of the times. And then I have a spiral. And then my therapist hears about it, and then I bitch to my team, and then they're like, you need to have a moment. And so I try to block off, like, a few days at a time every 3 or 4 months where I just off. Where I just, like, I rented this cabin in Big Bear a few months ago, or maybe about a year ago, and I was like, I just want no phone, no even, like, I don't want to use my phone as a calculator even, like, keep it away from me. And I went to this cabin. They didn't have a microwave. There was no TV. And I was so bored, dude. I was like, is this how they used to live? And I journaled and I wrote down bits, and I tried stand-up for the first time. I recorded myself, and I was like, hey, that's kind of fun. And I was writing down, like, character ideas, and I was like, I've never felt so creative. And it was because I was bored to tears.
Yeah, but that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's how you challenge yourself and find your next thing.
Yeah.
What about a sitcom? Or what about a TV show?
Could be fun.
What do your parents do?
My dad's in the military.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And my mom is a teacher and a ghost hunter.
What? Okay. Yeah. This is a show already. It's writing itself.
It is.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. So, okay. So how old are the people that your mom teaches?
It's just like the jokes write themselves. My mom teaches at a juvenile delinquent center.
Sick.
For the kids that get kicked out of normal school.
Got it.
For touching people or bringing weapons. And she is the testing coordinator there. And my dad was in the Air Force for 22 years.
Did he fly?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And ghost hunting? Like she moonlights as a ghost hunter?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sick.
In Montgomery County, Texas, people will be like, we got this jail that we're hearing noises. And she's like, I'm on it. She rolls up with her ghost hunting gals, her like friends. She has a team. And they have all the EMF detectors and all that and whatever. And they go and they sit in these places, abandoned hospitals, abandoned jails. Oh, she loves it.
What, is she communicating? Is she expunging the ghosts from the buildings?
She thinks she is sensitive
Like a medium.
to another realm. Yes.
Sick.
She thinks.
She thinks.
Do you not think too?
I've been with her on some of these, and I'll admit, in the moment when you're sitting there and you're sitting in a circle, and my mom is so like spiritual. She's like, this white woman from Texas, open your third eye and allow. And I'm looking at her like, you're kidding. And then like she'll ask a question, and the equipment starts to go off. And so it's like, well, shit. You know, like, you can't
fight
really
that.
argue with that. Or she'll take a picture and we'll hear a story, and, you know, like she'll take a picture and she's like, doesn't this look like a face? And then you'll hear, well, you know, so-and-so died here. And he was wearing a black top hat. Like, it's the top hat in the picture. You know, shit like that, where it's like, oh my God, Mom. And so I'm a skeptic, but I've seen some shit that's like, that's unexplainable.
I mean, sis, first show that you need is a ghost hunting show with your mom on Discovery.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like there aren't enough.
I mean, that's exactly why they need you. Add you to the list. We know you got the crew. We know you got the budget.
Y'all got the budget. Hit me up. You know where to get
We'll
me.
gang shoot that shit in 3 weeks.
First season done.
Yeah, 3 weeks easy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's a format that works, you know?
Yeah.
Proven.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Isn't that wild?
That's okay. Are you spiritual? Do you believe in manifestation?
Well, you know, I do believe in manifestation. I consider myself an ex-Christian.
Okay.
Because I was raised with all that Southern
Yeah.
religious trauma.
What happened in your life that you realized it was bullshit?
It's just the natural human doubt. You know, like when you're raised, it's cultish. When you're raised to think that that is the one true way. And you start to, like, as a teenager, be like, is it? Because I'm online and I'm meeting people of many different ethnic and cultural backgrounds, and maybe like they're not Christian and maybe this is wrong. And then you get kind of like reprimanded for thinking that that's not, you know. And so I just kind of rejected it all through college. I thought I had this spiritual awakening again because my college was very Christian, and I went to church and I cried and I went through all the motions, and I slowly realized that I'm not faithful. I am obsessed with the feeling of feeling validated by other Christians.
Oh.
How fucking strange is that?
I mean, it has to stem to your community that you grew up in.
Yeah.
Maybe your family.
100%.
Not getting validation from them, who you also saw as Christian.
Well, I think it was just being raised in that community where I've seen people, you know, accept Jesus and they get baptized and they just get attention, and they, you know, like, oh, we're so happy for you, and it's da-da-da's baptism and all that. And it's just like, well, I want attention.
I mean, it's your baptism every day on TikTok.
Exactly. So I got into comedy. But it's and then I started, oh my God, TikTok is, you were talking about, you know, there's just so many people who are spreading so much information, whether it's good or bad. And I found myself on like X or post-Christianity TikTok, and they were like psychoanalyzing all the ways that the church pulls you in. It was tea, bitch.
What?
They were like worship music. They abuse the emotional connection humans have to music. That is, you know, from the dawn of time, we've been connected to that, and the buildup of the drums and the certain chords they play are very emotional. And I was like, well, me, it's true.
No, the layers of brainwashing is very much like a casino.
Yes.
Like every little thing is meticulous.
Yes.
And built to get you there and suck you in.
Exactly. Were you raised religious?
I went to Catholic school for many
Catholic's
years.
a lot different than Southern Baptist, but still.
That is true. Catholicism is its own level of weird.
And trauma.
Yeah, I was an altar boy for like a bunch of years.
And I knew that.
Yeah, you
And I
can
could
tell,
tell.
right? You saw it in my eye. Just a reflection of a church candle just shining. Yeah, I read the Bible.
Do you recommend it?
No. The most Southern thing about you, you wear this shirt in your TikToks that is this pink
Oh,
It's like a moo-moo.
it's my moo-moo. It's my nightgown. You know what my grandma calls it too? A house coat.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And what about it? You want one so bad?
Yes, I was like, oh, maybe. Like I saw you in one wearing this pink polka dot thing that was zipped up. I was like, oh, no, there's no way she's gonna wear this again. No, it shows up like 15 other times, just littered throughout your TikToks.
It's because I like when you get out of the shower, I put it on.
So,
Ain't nothing under that bitch either.
I didn't think so.
I'm free balling.
Yes. Yup.
Yup.
I like that you had that ready to go.
You had it ready.
Found it real quick.
I've had that since my grandma gave me that. My Mimi, because it was hers, and she was like, "I don't need this." I got that in probably 2015. Been wearing it ever since. I've got 3.
Sick. I mean, your grandma passed down her hand-me-downs to you.
She did. It's the best because you don't have to wear underwear. You can answer the code and or answer the door. You can run around in it. There's 2 big pockets in the front. Put my phone in it when I'm doing dishes. It's so nice.
Do you feel creative when you exit the shower?
No. I don't.
I was just wondering why you'd be lounging in your house coat.
Oh, that was probably 3 days after I'd had a shower. That was deep quarantine. So I lived in that moo-moo. I still do, but for weeks on end.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's healthy.
And these sores on my side are because I had to unstick the moo-moo from my gut.
Gosh. You know what? The other thing I noticed in the Harry Styles message to you is that's from Harry HQ?
HSHQ, yeah.
That's it. The perfect grammar.
I know, right?
That is very meticulous.
Well, it's not him. It's his team.
No, but they represent the brand.
Oh, yeah. And they do, his brand is literate.
Yes. His brand is understands basic grammar. Knows where to put a period.
Speaks English. Yes, you're very right.
He gave you a necklace?
Bracelet.
Yeah,
Bracelet.
A necklace, yeah.
No.
That was a necklace in that box?
It was a necklace.
I thought it was a
yeah.
bracelet.
No, it's these, his stylist, Harry Lambert, has him in these, those trousers, a like graphic top, and then those chunky necklaces. It's by Eloquai, I think is the brand. And he wore that actually in a photo shoot. And so that was the actual one he wore. It's framed in my room. It's framed.
Have you smelt it?
No. People had, that was the first question. What do you smell like? What do you smell like? You think I was mentally present?
Nah.
That whole interaction? I was floating somewhere over there. You know what I mean? Like I watched the video back and I'm like, good for her. She got to meet Harry. Yeah. Oh, that's me. Like I forgot. I don't know.
No, his energy is really incredible.
I was shocked because I was like, well, they shocked me, first of all, because they were like, you're going to meet him. You're going to meet him. Are you ready? Are you ready? And I was like, fuck no, I don't want to meet him. And then we were handing out free tickets and free pizza outside of the venue. And we came back inside and they had told me on the way in, they were like, I don't think it's going to work out because it was 8:00. He had to go on at 9. And they were like, he's just too busy. I'm sorry. And I was like, oh. Because I didn't want to meet him to begin with, but then I kind of worked myself up like, okay, what are you going to say? How are you going to act? Whatever. And then they laid that on me and I was like, okay, we're walking back into the venue and we go to my dressing room and I open the door and that bitch is standing right there. And I ran out of the room. I ran the other way. And so that's why that reaction was that way, is they told me he's too busy. And so it was the last thing I expected. And so in that moment I kind of blacked out. And I think it was just so surreal. And it was just short enough to where he lived up to every expectation I wanted. Yeah. And it was just long enough to where I got to make him laugh. We bantered for a little bit. And then...
you talked about food.
I asked him what's on the dinner menu at Harry's house. Giggled a little bit. And then that was it. And I was like, that was just enough. I don't ever want to meet him again. So true.
Would you change, watching the video back, would you change anything about what you said or your entire performance?
Yeah, why the did I mock him to his face? That's super cool of me. Super sick I did that.
Are
you kidding, dude?
It was this cockney like I'm...
Yeah, how you keep doing, love? Like, what is my problem? I don't know what else I would have done. Harry, so nice to meet you. No, I had to mock him. If I didn't do the British accent, I would have done a country accent.
Oh,
it is pretty amazing that he knows who you are. Did you think he had any idea who you were before that?
No. HSHQ had interacted with me before when the Golden music video came out, and it's him running through the Italian countryside in this peasant top. And I reacted to it by just screaming at my TV. Just And they took that video and reposted it. And I was like, oh my God, they noticed me. And I thought that was it. And then they kept interacting with me. And I was like, okay, somebody on Harry's team is a fan of mine. It's probably a young girl who works for the label or works for his management or something. I mean, it was unexpected when the invite came for the show and to host and all that. It was just such a shock. So yeah, it was a blessing. I never in a million years could have planned that. And the same thing with, I got to interview Rosalia, who's one of my favorite artists on this planet, for TikTok. I mean, all of these opportunities have come through TikTok, and I'm just so blessed.
Where does your Spanish come from? Because I know you're like a big Bad Bunny fan, but you also speak Spanish?
I do speak Spanish.
Fluently?
Yeah.
From what?
I grew up in Texas, and they make you take a foreign language from like 6th grade onward. So I was taking it. Well, I lived in South Korea in 6th grade. It's a whole other story.
Because your dad was in the Air
My dad
Force?
was in the military, yeah. And so we moved back to Texas in 7th grade, and I took Spanish from 7th grade until I graduated college. And so the Spanish I speak is the Spanish they teach in schools, which is Castellano, which is Spain Spanish. And they roast me alive for that on the internet, girl. They're like, no, you're speaking conquistador Spanish. I'm like, and I look like it too. Huh? Damn.
You do look like Don Quixote.
And I get that a lot. Thank you so much. And so it's interesting because a lot of the reggaeton or Latin artists that are famous are Colombian, Puerto Rican, Latin, and Spain is not Latin America. And that's a big discourse I had no idea about. Once again, the internet teaching me things. So it's tea. It's very interesting. I love Bad Bunny.
See, it's so funny that now faces you on the internet. I remember dealing with that. Like my extended family's from Honduras and learning Spanish from Spain. It's very different.
It's like learning it in a British accent and then going to New Jersey.
It's 100%
It's
accurate.
like, yeah, you're speaking the same language, but me, I don't understand you.
Yeah.
That's me trying to understand what Bad Bunny says. No idea. I'm like, he's fun to look at and I like his music. No, I love him.
How long did you live in Korea for?
A year.
Where else did you live?
I've lived all along the southeastern United States, Georgia, Virginia, Florida, Texas, even like Arizona.
Moving around
From
school to
Alabama,
school.
North Carolina. Every different school every 2 years.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then we were in South Korea for 6th grade, and then we were in Texas from 7th grade until I graduated high school.
So that's the longest you spent anywhere.
Yeah.
Do you learn the most about yourself from that time?
You learn how to make friends, and
Which is new.
Yeah, I'm very appreciative for that because I think that either makes you an extreme introvert or it teaches you how to socialize. And luckily for me, my dad moving us around so much, I still have friends from like 4th grade in North Carolina that I still talk to. So it's a cool skill, and I'm very grateful. But it was hard, because people are like, I grew up here. I know everyone in this town. I don't have that. And I graduated. My high school graduating class was 670 kids. So people are like, I had a graduating class of 30 kids. What the are you talking about? It's wild.
Do you find that being funny makes it easier for you to break the ice or get to know people when you walk into a room?
Oh, yeah.
Taxing, though.
Well, it is. And I don't know if this is your experience as well, being the funny kid, but the number one icebreaker is to make fun of yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So put everyone at ease, make them giggle.
I still do that every day.
Exactly. That's why I made a career off of it.
I get paid money.
You have a microphone to do that.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, so it's...
If I was doing it alone in my house, I'd be really fucked.
That'd be a different story. So, that was kind of my MO.
Yeah, self-deprecation.
Oh, works every time.
Yeah.
Kills him every time. And then you spiral about it later.
Yeah, totally.
Do I really look like Owen Wilson? Fuck. That's what it is.
You get ahead of it.
Right.
And you also let people know that you can take a joke and that you're funny.
But the internet loves to take it too far.
Oh, every time.
Yeah, because people to my face would never, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
if they'd be like, yeah, it's because that big fucking forehead. And I'd be like, because it's like, I made that joke, so of course you can make it, but it does kind of hurt.
But it stings when it comes from you.
It does. It's one of those things like you can bully your sibling, but no one else can bully your sibling.
100%.
Yeah.
You graduated the highest honor, right? Cum laude or whatever they
Cum
said?
laude, yeah. Summa is the highest.
That's it.
I had a 3.5 GPA.
That's pretty high.
Thank you.
We did not graduate college. So
Where did y'all go?
nowhere.
Oh, so you didn't
No.
go.
I tried to go. I went to some bullshit university in New Jersey.
Lay.
He went to,
I went to fashion school in New York City.
You better work, bitch.
That's right.
he went
a
to a
young
great
Tim
school.
Gunn.
I went to that school. That's where I went. Parsons, the new
shit.
school for design, where they filmed that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I went to fashion school. I thought I was gonna be an artist, a fashion designer, and then I sat there. I was like, "What the hell am I doing here? These are not my people."
You still enjoy fashion a little bit?
No, I haven't changed my clothes since I dropped out. So
It's all black.
That's what that smell is.
yeah, that's me.
Got it.
But yeah, no, college just wasn't for me. So I respect you getting through that. I don't know how you pulled that one
and
off.
I respect you for making that decision.
That's true.
Mine was a fail-safe. It was my dad being like, "You're going to college because that's what you do, and you're gonna get a job after that." I never was like, "I'm gonna be a creative." What the? That was never an option for me. So I'm so grateful now I was forced into it.
How old are you? 25?
25.
But you grew up seeing the next generation build careers off the internet.
It was never enough for me to take that leap, though. And I didn't have a vision of what I wanted to do. Yeah. You know, I wasn't like, I want to be a makeup artist or I want to be this. It was always kind of a Jenna Marbles of like, she's just fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I wanted to, when I realized that was what had been handed to me on a silver platter, I was like, let's just have fun.
Just go for it.
I hope that's what I'm doing on the internet.
Are you having fun though?
Yes. Objectively, yes.
It's going to have ups and downs, right?
Exactly.
By the way, if you're having too much fun and it's consistent fun,
Hey.
you're doing something wrong.
Right. Well, and there's, oh my God, we can talk about this too if you want to. It's a big drug culture with internet people. Scary.
Do you find yourself associating in those circles? Like, are you making friends with other internet creators?
You know, well, yeah, of course. But I've been in this long enough to where it's like I've met all the people I want to, and I'm friends with who I want to be friends with.
Totally.
So I don't go to parties that are full of people that I don't even want to be photographed with. You know what I mean? Like those parties happen and I have friend groups that get invited, I get invited, and I'm just like, I'm all right. Because even associating with those people, as a woman, I'm much more subjected to cancel culture than like, you know, a white man comic. It's like I could go to one of these parties, take a picture with someone problematic, and I could be done. Because that's what I'm associated with forever. Cody Ko could go to one of these parties and, you know, it's just like, oh, it's just an internet party.
And he goes out.
And he does. He loves it. I see him at stuff and it's just like, it sucks that that's the reality. I also love Cody Ko. I love Cody and Noel.
Does it suck or is it healthy? But like you do stunt your social capabilities because you're not going to think in fear of somebody who has a bad rap or who does shitty shit showing up there. Like, let's call it what it is. Like, nobody wants to show up to a party with Taylor Holder.
Right.
Okay? Like, nobody wants to be in the same room as that guy.
Well, that's the thing. And when you are there and then those type of people show up, it's like...
And it's almost inevitable
Yeah.
that they show up.
Well, and then, I had this kind of come to Jesus with myself where I was like, what are you doing? You know, like, this isn't what I do. I'm not one of those people that's famous for being famous or famous for being problematic or famous for being hot or famous for being, you know, it's like, I do internet stuff because first and foremost, I'm going to make myself laugh. Second of all, I'm there for my audience, and my audience doesn't follow people like that. That is a completely different audience.
Yeah.
Usually kids. You know what I mean? Under the age of 18.
It's really sad.
It is. They're...
I think Jake Paul is king.
Oh, dude.
I think
Jake
he's
Paul,
king-
king of the 8-year-olds. That's what they call him.
But he's a king piece of shit. Anybody who gets on the internet and literally goes, yo, kid, drop out of school and give me your money and I'll teach you. You are a steaming pile of trash.
Maybe we're just jealous we didn't do it first.
Yeah. My bank account certainly would have loved it.
Exactly.
But you know what? Morals and integrity go a long way.
Yeah.
And you never want to sacrifice who you are
Yeah.
in pursuit of getting famous or building a career that comes along with notoriety.
Right.
Or subjects you to the public scrutiny and eye.
Well, that's the thing is like if you lose yourself in the process, then you lose your audience.
Yes, especially when it's so. I mean, like we started this conversation. It's an amplified version of yourself that you deliver to people on the internet, but it is deeply and genuinely rooted and woven in to your identity
100%.
and your personality and your being.
Yeah.
The only thing you know.
Right.
So if you lose yourself, yeah, you do really stand the opportunity to lose everything you've built when you've built a house that is so rare.
Yeah.
Because it's built on genuine land.
Yeah. And when you lose that loyalty of the fan base because you've lost yourself in the process is just like, you can't get that back.
Totally.
I think the interesting thing about Jake and Logan is they'll look back and they're not proud of what they've done in the past, but they've completely changed their brands.
Oh, 100%.
Like their audiences are not young kids anymore. Jake has like an adult and male audience because he's boxing. Logan has completely changed his brand. So
Dude, Logan having
killing
Liam
it.
Payne on his butt.
Wait, so I have that on this in my notes.
Yeah.
You are a One Direction fan. You made 2 TikToks, I believe, reacting to the interview. Are you hurt? Yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean, just how childish and how selfish as well. Because this was kind of every Directioner's worst nightmare of like, they did the hiatus, never to come back. Every member has done such an excellent job of preserving the illusion of what One Direction was. You know, that they all loved each other. They were brothers. It was the best years of their lives, whatever. For Liam to come out, and we knew they fought. For Liam to come out and be like, it was centered around me, and I was the front man, and I did this, and I have the #1 stream song. Just lying. And people psychoanalyzing that video of him being like, he's a textbook narcissist.
You should, somewhere within you, feel bad for him. And I reacted to the video very instantly, and I had a tweet that went viral and like is very polarizing.
What'd you say?
Just like something along the lines of me unfollowing him and like things are cleaner now or something. I feel for him because clearly he is not the successful one in the group.
And that's the thing, is it's jealousy at the root of all of it. And he feels
And
left
insecurity.
out. Insecurity. He's lashing out. You know, it's kind of like, let me try to get 2 steps ahead, when really you put yourself 10 steps behind, because now you just lost all these ex-Directioners who used to love you and had such positive memories of you, and now you just got too drunk on Logan Paul's podcast and made a fucking fool of yourself. It just made us so sad.
It was like this bravado that he needed to just find and this fuel it by lies. It's really sad. And
It was.
and when you really understand the One Direction fandom, which you are a proud member of, it was equality, right? Like you loved everybody equally.
There wasn't a leader.
No.
Yeah.
I've interviewed the guys collectively as a unit twice, and I've interviewed every member numerous times except for Liam. So I considered myself a really, really deep fan and somebody whose life has been shaped by One Direction and has grown to understand them
Bitch, why
and
did
know
I
them.
know that?
Oh yeah, I've been doing this for 15 years, Brittany Broski.
You don't look a day over 29.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
hey, something good that came out of that Liam interview is that we got that Zayn Malik high note on Instagram.
Oh,
did.
yeah.
That was a blessing.
So fucking random, too. Zane said, I'm going to heal the world.
Yeah.
But they were all together all the time, and you loved all of them. You respected all of them. And then the second they break away is the second where everybody is taken on their own, and they're received on their own, and they're creating on their own merit, and they have their own data lines that they need to look at. And he just, it sucks. He really f***ed himself.
And you know what else is like him making all those bold claims? People are going to like fact check what you're saying.
Yes.
Him saying, I have the most most streamed, billion streams on Strip That Down. Pull up any of Harry's songs. Immediately you're outsold. Like, are you actually f***ing kidding? And so I think that's even more embarrassing, is like he is now inviting people to check what he's saying, and he's lying. So, and the whole thing about there's high likelihood you'll never use those hands again. Shut the up, dude. Oh my God. I watched that and I was like, you're killing me.
It's rough.
It's rough.
It's just like he definitely has a small dick. Like you just knew.
Payno. Oh, Payno.
Well, you did mention Jake Paul trying to get people to drop out of school, and I know you're a big Beyonce fan. So how do you feel about Beyonce?
Y'all did your research.
Of course. How do you feel about Beyonce trying to get people to quit their jobs in her new song?
Good for her. Good for her. We are on the brink of revolution, and it will be led by Beyonce.
That's true.
We're unionizing. We really are.
We should collectively as Americans.
We should.
I think it'd really benefit us.
This country's so scary. I think if Beyonce's telling us to quit our jobs and overturn the government, she's right.
Yes. Honestly, if she's the one leading us on that horse, I will follow her into a burning building.
To the ends of the earth.
Literally.
Yeah.
Wherever she needs me, just let me know.
Yeah.
Oh,
That song was so shocking too.
It was.
The house anthem?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Did you
Last
like
thing I
it?
was
Do you
expecting.
like it?
I like it. I'm excited to see where the direction of the album goes.
Yeah.
Because if it's anything like that, I don't know. I don't think it'll be my favorite Beyonce record so far. Lemonade, it's hard to top Lemonade.
Yeah, it seemed like the song came out and it got a lot of hype, but I don't want to get attacked, but it kind of seems like the song kind of came and went.
What? Well, it's going to be in clubs everywhere.
Definitely going to be in clubs.
Fall, winter. It's going to be, I mean, it was not a flop by any means.
Definitely not a flop. I just don't feel like I hear it as much as I was expecting to.
I just want to know though, like, do you go out?
No, maybe that's a good point. Sit in my house at night, so.
So you're not going to hear it unless you put it on.
Yeah, if I'm not putting it on, I guess no one's playing it around me.
And that is true.
Yeah, your neighbors aren't pumping it.
Oh man, the Beehive, they are a scary one, aren't they?
They are. And I'm proud. I'm proud to be in it.
Do you want to give Jesus a Four Loko still?
I think he'd really enjoy it.
Do you think? Do you think
Four Loko?
he wouldn't turn it into something else?
No, Jesus would eat that shit up.
You crack it open for him, or does he crack it open himself?
I usually have nails on. He'd have to crack it open for himself. I could use like a little rock to do it. Imagine how many more disciples he would have had if he just had the energy of like a gold Four Loko. You get real persuasive when you're drunk. He's like, everybody around the shore, listen, man.
Do you create your best content when you're drunk?
That is a debatable question. I create my most problematic content when I'm under the influence.
Which could, if you look at some data, whatever. What are your KPIs? Like, how do you know something's performing well?
Still to this day, there's no markers. I have no fucking clue. I'll post some bullshit video of me making an alien noise, and people are like, this right here? Funniest piece of media I've seen in 15 years. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding. When I've like perfectly crafted a character or a scene or a British accent or this accent, it's like me doing like POV, I'm an alien leader. That gets 7 million views. You guys. It's unreal.
You being Shrek's wife, though, really brought me joy.
That one took off. Very proud of that one. And you know what that is? I'm on the toilet going through Instagram filters. And I found that one and I was like, I see it. I see the scene. And I did it.
Thank you for bringing that to life.
You're so welcome.
How'd you meet Trixie Mattel?
I made fun of her.
That's how you make all your best friends.
It is.
You Helga Pataki'd her.
Do what?
Helga Pataki'd. Hey, Arnold?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember Helga?
Yeah, she was in love with Arnold.
But she'd make fun of Arnold.
Hey, works every time.
Apparently.
There's a tactic called the fluff and retreat. You ever heard of this? You go up and fluff their ego, and then you say, bye. The guy's like, what? And they chase you.
Do you enact that strategy?
No, that was in the movie Aquamarine. With Sarah Paxton and Emma Roberts.
I was wondering, did it work for Sarah?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So if it worked for her.
If it worked for her, I look just like her.
You do have a fin. I knew you've been hiding something.
I've got this vestigial dorsal fin. I've been trying to hide it from you.
Just open. Comes popping out your back. Okay.
What was the question?
I asked something about what I asked Carlos.
It was a good question too.
Good to know Carlos is listening.
No, I just got distracted of where we went with it.
Hold on.
We're talking about I really did want
Shrek's wife?
No.
Shrek's wife.
I wanted to transition to love, and I think we could get there in just coming off of your aquamarine strategy.
Sure.
Do you want love?
Hold on. What was the question? That's going to drive me insane.
As you can tell, I just move on. It's bad.
All right.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah. Ask me again. The one you just asked.
Do you care about love?
Yeah.
Do you want love?
Yeah.
You being on the internet, does it make love harder or easier?
Yes, it makes it harder.
Do you feel like you put out like an identity that
my sex appeal, my raw sex appeal?
Like, where's that on the scale of what to marry me?
What I emit? You know what? It's a very delicate balance. It's a very delicate mixture. Because the more serious answer, honestly, is we're in an age of neo feminism, whatever wave of feminism we're on now, where we are realizing and teaching that women don't owe you pretty, women don't owe you sex, women don't owe you beauty, women don't owe you shit. And in that, a lot of the pin-up beauty standard femininity is lost. You know, of like what a woman should be. You should want to be a housewife. Here's how to be a good wife. Here's how to be a good girlfriend, whatever. When you remove that from the equation, okay, my goal is not to be a wife at all. Oh, you're a real person now. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of my angle is I enjoy that content online, like I just went on a first date and here's me getting ready for it. And this guy was so nice. Like I like to watch that stuff, but I am not envious of those girls because the dating pool is awful.
Yeah.
It's awful. And the more I'm online, the more my standards are raised and the more my idea of what femininity is changes. As a woman, what I should be, all the multifaceted parts of being a woman. And there is a divinity in being a woman, of a life giver, and everyone came from a woman. And so it's all that's in the back of my head when I'm thinking about Hinge or Raya or Bumble. It's like there's not going to be Chad who's in finance, who lives in Encino, isn't going to be the man of my dreams. So for the time being, and especially because I'm on this journey of accepting what it means to be a woman, not in like Western society's standards, I'm not focused on that at all. I think it's a natural human instinct to want to be loved and to love. And I think I have a lot of love to give. But if that goes to my friends and my family right now, that's all. That's enough for me.
It's healthy.
It is. And so I think it's a strange thing because we're bred as young girls to think, I just need to be attractive and desirable. And that's when I'll have made it. That's when I'll feel whole. And when you remove that from the equation entirely, it's like, well, what's left? Oh, all these other incredible qualities. I love that that's the movement online and that a lot of my audience feels the same. So
It's beautiful.
yeah,
It's an understanding a person for what makes them a person.
exactly. And not just tits and an ass.
Yeah.
It's like, you're kidding, right? It's shameful. It's so scary that that's what I used to think as a 16-year-old. Oh, when I turn 21, I'm going to get lip injections and, get a wig and do this and do that and get laser hair removal. All that shit. It's just like, what?
Like you have nothing more to offer than just be a canvas for bullshit.
Exactly. For a man to project his fantasies upon me. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh my God, I'm a human too. So it's a crazy evolution. And living with Sarah Shower, who is a non-binary lesbian,
She's your best friend.
lover, my cousin,
That's it.
she has taught me so much about decentering men because she has no use for men in her life. She's taught me so much, and I'm so thankful to her. And she's on her own little gay journey, but it's such an eye-opening thing, to not live with that burden of, okay, well, I have to be attractive to a man. It's like, okay, and then what? What else are you?
Do you feel like through the lens of the internet, because you are showing real versions of yourself, you are showing who you are, that maybe somebody who loves you for exactly that could come your way?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. It's just like, when. And I'm in no rush.
Do you look through your DMs?
Yeah, it's all the girls. There's not, if it were to be someone online, it would be someone who does what we do.
Yeah.
Like who understands the pressures and the trials and tribulations of being a public figure through the lens of social media, not through the lens of traditional media. And part of me wants that, and part of me just wants a rando, like someone who is not involved in this world at all.
Both are scary.
Both are scary.
Because like both have questionable motives and intent. It's hard. I mean, are you cautious about new people who enter your zone?
No, but my team tells me I should be. And I think it's that naivete,
Yeah.
where it's like, I think just everyone wants to be my friend, or I want to be everyone's friend. And I want people to like me because that's one of my fatal flaws is I'm a people pleaser. And I just want people to have a good impression of me. And it would never cross my mind for a minute that they would be using me for something. And it has happened, and it's upsetting.
How do you catch it?
Too late.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
What if Austin Butler comes knocking on the door?
Austin Butler could knock on my door at any hour of any day of any week.
He can use you for whatever he
He
wants.
can use me. He can borrow one of my moo-moos. I'll be in my moo-moo when I answer the door. Oh my God, Austin Butler. Are you in a relationship?
No. I'm in like a situationship maybe.
T. Care to explain?
It's incredibly undefined. Been long distance for a while.
Sucks.
And that's looking like it's going to change, but I don't know. And also like in the same breath, like because it's a situationship, because it's so undefined, I do constantly question if this person is actually into me.
Right.
Like it's constant.
I mean, you can't see them. That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's not even like a long distance is like you're in a committed relationship and you're going to try long distance. And a situationship, it's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, how does this work?
Yeah.
And admittedly, on my side, there'd be moments where, like, because it's so undefined, and if I go out and I meet somebody, I would just meet somebody and let it go with the flow.
Right.
I'd be thinking about them the entire time,
Right.
but I would just go wherever the flow took me.
Hmm.
So hoping in the next couple months that this relationship actually becomes defined, whether it becomes an actual relationship or not, doesn't matter.
Manifesting clarity for you, bestie.
That's all I'm looking for. Whether the light at the end of the tunnel is love that lasts months, years, whatever, or no love at all. Like I've come to terms with either one.
Period.
So
You're in your Stevie Nicks spiritual witch era.
that's
Whatever comes will come.
it. Really is weirdly true.
Yeah.
Whatever comes will come.
A big thing. Do you have issues with control?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, me too.
I'm hyper. I mean, I am a control freak, but I do find trust. Like I trust him. We've been working together 11 years.
I do everything around here, so you kind of have to trust me.
Yeah.
You are the show.
Yeah.
He's just
I am the show part of this. Yeah.
Love that.
He does technically take up. Yeah. And he's the heart, I guess.
No, definitely not
You
the
are
heart.
No, I'm the heart.
No.
Yeah, I get 3 letters in the name.
He's the
two.
heart.
Carlos is the heart.
The heart and soul of the show.
Okay.
You want to know something?
What?
I know exactly where you live. I know which apartment door is yours too.
What the f-
What the? Why the? What the?
So why would you say that to me?
My,
So really quick, why would you say that to me?
so really quick, like while we're here, I know where you live.
Wait, what? Daniel, that's
So-
embarrassing. Dan. Do you feel connected to the data that you see on all these social media sites, or have you figured out how to distance yourself from it? Like, do you care if a video performs?
On my verified account, yes. On my spam, could not give less of a shit. And that's why I created the spam account.
How do you determine which account gets what?
That's a great question, and I don't have a definitive answer. When I have the zoomies, my spam. When I have a clear, like the Shrek video, like when I have a filter or a video that I'm like, this is funny, and it's like a clear concept, I'll put that on the thing. But when it's just me in my bed and I'm like, I have something to say, and it's nothing, it's absolutely just nonsensical, I'll put that on the spam. But some of my best stuff has come out of the spam, which is upsetting.
In that moment, do you feel like, oh, it would have done better if it was on the main account?
Yes.
Today, as we speak, how do you define success?
I think there's a bunch of different definitions of success. I think that I am successful in what I've created, in the brands that I've worked with, and the money I make, and the following I've built. That's, to me, incredibly successful. I mean, like, to bring a community of people together, I think that's my answer. To bring a community of people who are so like-minded and so silly together, and to be able to call them my fans is wild. I think that is success to me. Like, whatever comes from this point on, I feel very successful.
There is something to the girl who moved around from school to school, not having many consistent friends, now having a huge group of friends.
Right. Oh, that's a good way to put it.
All collected from content that you really intended to just send to your other friends.
Yeah.
There's something
Good way to
beautiful
put
there.
It is. I think it's because there are people that you can tell set out that this was their goal.
Yeah.
I want to be famous. Okay, and then what? You're famous. Now what? You know, it's like with no clear intention or goal in mind and just kind of riding the wave, whatever comes and goes. I think whatever happens, I will be happy. Unless something devastating happens, and I'll be upset. But at this point in time, and whatever comes in the future, you know, it's like.
But in the same breath, you lived a life wanting to do something like this. You were a theater kid. You did improv in some capacity, even though you had a plan B. You just didn't need to enact your plan B.
Thank God.
And
That would have been miserable. I have never, when I worked my insurance job, clinically depressed. Awful. It's like, it is a dismal, for all you college kids out there who just graduated looking for a job, I'm with you. It is a dismal experience. Like having every qualification, being college educated, being so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to work, and then they just suck the life out of you. It's awful. I don't obviously I'm incredibly grateful for what I do, but it's like double because I know the opposite side of this is living that Southern, you know, you go to college, you get a job, you get married. Oh my God, I'd rather die.
But you provide an escape for people who live that life.
Right. And that means so much because Rhett and Link used to be that for me. Jenna used to be that for me. Cody Co used to be that for me. And so now the fact that I'm grouped into that, an honor and a privilege.
It's good company.
It is.
Really, truly. Brittany Broski.
Do you want to talk about Jake Paul anymore? Or is that, you got it out?
What is going to be your Jake Paul?
My rebrand?
Yeah.
I'm going to become a health and wellness channel when I get this IBS under control. You better fucking watch, bitch. I'm going to come up with a diet plan.
You have a book?
A book.
Yeah,
I'm going to start selling recipes.
Today Show. I really do. Like, if you need help being connected with the production company, could totally help you bring that ghost hunting show
Appreciate
with
that.
you and your mom to reality.
Ghost hunting, health and wellness, military enlisting show. Really.
So just propaganda for the United States?
Yes. Let's get this on the road, team. Sell this to a company.
All hands in.
All hands on deck.
Brittany Broski, really an honor. Thank you for taking the time and energy, and just it's really great getting to know you.
Oh, this is a blast.
Well, yeah, I hope we weren't too annoying.
No, this is a blast.
Oh.
Shocking.
Yeah, I'll see you.
blast.
I'll see you tonight.
Oh, that's okay.
No,
Ominous.
what's funny about that comment is the whole conversation's cut out, so nobody has any idea what that means.
Right. Don't you bitches wish you knew.
Brittany Broski, everybody.